I would totally do PKA here at my house. The podcast thing, we're supposed to be getting our cameras here in the next week or so. Podcasting is about being entertaining.
Say my name.
Breaking Banquet.
You're goddamn right.
I would totally do PKA here at my house, but the problem is like Kyle won't travel. I don't want to say what Keem offered, but it was considerably more than what I got to fight Boogie. And I'll tell you this, is more than enough to pay my truck off. The podcast thing, we're supposed to be getting our cameras here in the next week or so. After that, I don't know, like Tommy is in Germany, so that's going to be an issue as well, because that's an issue we ran in with Eddie when we did the podcast show, because Eddie was on a 6-hour difference. So that's something we haven't really discussed. And I told them that we need to get together, but I'm trying not to take any kind of leadership role, because I just want to be a host and not like leading the podcast. Tommy C, he lives in Germany. Like what I ended up doing is like I had to get a personal loan recently to change my air conditioner. So like I signed up for a loan with the air conditioner company, got the loan there just to get the unit in, and then I went and got a personal loan at a lower interest rate from my bank and paid that off without collateral. But the interest rate was half of what the company, the air conditioner hooked me up with. Sometimes you have to take out personal loans. Podcasting is about being entertaining. We already got pull, right? Like because Keemstar is basically running the podcast. Like he's the owner. We already got places we can go. Like for example, like we could be there and do like a commentary track on every Misfits fight. There's other people that work with Keemstar willing to be sponsors and stuff like that for the podcast. Like we already have pull. So we're looking for just creating the most entertaining mesh of hosts possible. And like this is one of my ideas, because like Boogie's more nerdy. I'm like a mix between nerd and redneck. But like I'm more liberal, Boogie's more in the middle. So we need like a in your face like conservative like guy that's completely different point of view than everybody else, because differing point of views is what people want to see. People want to see you clash and talk about things and have different questions from different perspectives. The only problem with Rich is I feel like Rich is in the same boat as I am. He's a little more liberal than anything else. You're a conservative gamer nerd. So let me ask you this, Angie, I don't know how to say your name. Dude, Low Tier God was one of my choices. I don't know what political affiliation Low Tier God has, but I thought he'd be a good third host. Remember when people called me a dumbass for not buying into Bitcoin and NFTs? Remember that? King N64, you should do a comic review of ISOM and tell us what the story is and what ISOM superhero... Where's the suggestion coming from? I hate comics. Dude. I don't even know what ISOM is. Low Tier God's another lolcow. Here's the thing. The worst investment you can make is probably going out to drink. Because not only you got to buy an Uber, you got to buy an Uber there, you got to buy an Uber back. You're gonna pay $8 for a shot of liquor. You're gonna be fucking shit faced, and you're gonna be throwing money to try to impress girls. That's probably the worst investment you can make, is going out to drink. And then if you don't follow all those rules I just gave you, now you're risking other people's lives and committing crimes. What if you get a bad chick? But the type of girls I want don't go to the club. Where's the wife? She's laying down watching Judge Judy. It's her bedtime. Is buying a house a good investment? That's a loaded question right now. For the most part, buying land is the best investment for your money to date, right? Even better in gold and silver, right? Because one, most people are going to build your land up at no cost to you. For example, when the land I lived on right now was first bought, it was 1.1 acres of woods. Since the land, we've owned the land, a elementary school's been built near us, a convenience store's been built near us. They're building housing near us now. Like they're building a bridge over the Wakama River, which is going to make pretty soon my property being 15 minutes from the beach, right? So all this is nothing that costs me money, but it makes my land more valuable and more desirable. And here's the big kicker with land. They don't make any more of it. So it's never going to go down in value for the most part. The second most valuable thing is housing. Right? But you got to get the right house. Like, I don't have the right house. I was young when I took my house over. If I had to do it again, I would have never took this house over on a verbal agreement. I would have actually went and bought a house, right? Because like when I was a young man, you could get a 3-bedroom, 1-garage house for $126,000. That same house right now is $250,000, $300,000. So if I would have bought that house, I would have doubled my investment right there. The issue with buying a house in today's market is we're on the precipice of a housing crash. Take this as gospel, right? So there's a good chance you'll go and buy a $400,000 house, and then 6 months from now, your house will be worth 20% less, right? So you instantly lose 20% of you're instantly underwater on your house, plus whatever interest rate you got on your house, since the interest rate is actually higher now than it was, say, 6 years ago. The car market isn't going to crash. The housing market will. And here's the reason the car market's not going to crash. The car market's not going to crash because banks aren't fucking stupid. What's going to end up happening, because like right now, if you have a whole bunch of, like right now, there's so many repos of like stimulus check ballers, right? People that were getting like $800 extra on like their unemployment checks, $2,500 checks every 6 months, or $4,000 checks every 6 months, whatever it might be on the stimulus payments. They would go out there and they would put $5,000, $6,000 down on a car of whatever it might be. And then when the stimulus money went out, they couldn't afford the car payment, right? So that, and the fact that interest rates, you know, are through the roof, and like more people have $1,000 car payment a month than ever before in history. Get a lot of repos. Right now, repos aren't keeping up because there's not enough land to put all the repos on. So there's people out there who are not making their car payment, not getting repoed because the repo companies can't move the cars fast enough because nobody wants to buy the cars at auction. But what banks are doing is they're buying land and they're putting cars up. So they're going to slowly feed the market with the repo cars to make the money back. And that's going to save the car market from crashing, because they'll drip feed the cars into the auctions, and the auctions will drip feed the cars into like private sellers. And since there's less new cars available, that means used cars are holding their value more than normally. I know a YouTuber right now that bought a G-Wagon with $100,000 markup on it. Here's an idea I've had, and I'm wondering why nobody's done this. Like, you ever guys hear about Lending Tree? Basically, it's basically where you need a loan, so you like the banks compete over the loan for you. So you basically put in your information and be like, yo, I need this much loan, this is my information, and then all the banks come in and you can pick the one who gives you the best deal. They need to do this with cars. You'd be like, I'm looking for this type of car for this amount of money, and then banks come in, and then car dealers come and like give you offers and show them what they have, and then you decide if you want to go see it or not. So like, you have different car dealers with the same type of car competing for your business. No, that's not. CarMax is completely different. CLR, what makes you think you're an expert on this? Why would you listen to anything you say about it? CLR 77. I know what I'm talking about. I'm hungry as fuck right now. I kind of want to go eat my hamburger.